And we are live in rainy, soaking wet, rainy downtown Crestline. I gotta tell my phone to shut up. Do not disturb. There, here we go. Oh, that was bad. I should say, tell my phone to be quiet. That's a nicer way to say what I meant. All right. 4 more days till Christmas. I saw my family yesterday. We had a great time. And we got to have lunch at our local Crestline Cafe, a moderately priced, family friendly restaurant, a little better than a coffee shop. They have some amazing things like chicken piccata. It has lemon sauce and capers. Capers are little green things. They're made from the flower bud of I guess it's a caper tree. Anyway, here in beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire, we got rain in fits and starts, and we're soaking wet and a little, not quite foggy, I'd say misty and cold. It has warmed up to 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see what that is Celsius. 42 F2C. And welcome in. 5.5 degrees Celsius. Okay. And what was I saying? um, I don't know. Oh, it's cold. And it's going to get colder. But it's winter and I live on a mountain. We're around 5,000 feet, so no snow just yet. Ordinarily, we just get a dusting, maybe an inch or two. And quite often it doesn't stick, it melts right away. Last March was a major exception to that. I got about 6 feet over just a few days, and it wasn't melting. Up higher up on the mountain, some people got 12 feet. The experts say the average was about 8 feet. Anyway, that won't happen this year, knock on wood. Let's tip that up a little so you can see me knocking on wood. Hi, Freeman. I should just say hi, L. It's easier to type. There, in the chat room. Well, over the years, my brother and his wife have given me all kinds of amazing gifts, and this year they're tightening their belts. But I got them a couple little things, and they wanted to buy me something because I gave them presents, and my feeling is that I'm making up for all the times I had nothing for them. No, I don't have much as it is, but I got a couple little things under $20, and I wasn't able to buy for anyone else. Freeman says, the weatherman says we're going to have rain for the rest of the week. Yeah. Well, let me turn off that fan. There, here. We'll get major rain tonight and Friday and Saturday, possibly Sunday. Lots of it, lots more than we already got. But so far it's been in fits and starts. It'll rain for 5 or 10 minutes and then quit for a while. But it's okay. It's weather, you know. It happens every year around this time. But this time there's a huge spinning low system out over the Pacific Ocean. Dinner with family. Actually, it was lunch. They didn't want to drive home in the dark. They wanted to go down the mountain in daylight. Anyway, there's this huge low in the Pacific Ocean. It already hit the Pacific Northwest really hard. But most of the rain has been in the coastal regions of San Diego, Los Angeles, and Ventura counties, north of Los Angeles. Sacramento got a lot when the storm was up north. And the snow has been like 7,000 feet and higher, which is okay. That's where the ski resorts are. They want the snow. It fuels their economy. Now, we went to our local coffee shop, Crestline Cafe, right next to the post office on Lake Drive in beautiful downtown Crestline. You know where I got that line? On Laugh-In, they always said they were coming from beautiful downtown Burbank. Well, anyway, I had an amazing sandwich. I couldn't decide which sandwich I wanted, ham, turkey, or BLT. Well, they have this sandwich that has all three, bacon, turkey, and ham, with tomatoes and lettuce and so forth. I had to take it apart. I couldn't get it into my mouth. It was so tall, but it was awesome. And as I said, they're moderately priced. You don't pay a fortune. Even if you order the chicken piccata, which is about as fancy as it sounds, it is not a high price. It's in line with their other dinner dishes. And I love the lemon sauce. And capers. That chicken piccata made me or motivated me to pick up a little jar of capers at the grocery store. I should get it and show it to you. They're little green things the size of a green pea, preserved in vinegar. Let me go get it. The only problem I have with these is I don't have a spoon or a small enough to go in and pull out the capers. I have to pour them into a dish and try to get them out without too much vinegar to put them in whatever dish I'm eating. I've even tried them plain all by themselves. Uh, they're tasty. They're very mild and interesting. Ugh, burp. I'm about to have hiccups. Let me put these back. Kitty cat. Really? Oh, okay. I keep finding things in my refrigerator that I had forgotten, so I have to check them out and see what they are, whether they need to be tossed out. Hi, Dawn. Got two people in the chat room now. Okay, I turned off the heater fan. I'm going to crank up the wall heater. It's chilly. And no, Patches, it's my chair. You get off. And restart the heating pad that I sit on. It turns off after half an hour. Merry Christmas, everyone. Even though it's 4 days away. Hi, Anthony. Let me type that and then read what you said. Oh, Anthony is at work, but he's going to listen. Good man. Don says he is Charlie Brown's Christmas tree. Oh, his Christmas tree looked beautiful when they gave it a little TLC. Most people can become beautiful. Maybe not, outward appearance, good looks, but there's more to it than that. Anyway, I'm still waiting for Somnoscope to get released. It's an anthology with one of my stories and stories from other great writers. I'm sorry I'm not good at names. I don't remember which guy is the editor because I have stories in 3 different anthologies. My one is edited by Cliff Jones. One is edited by can't remember the name. And one is Keith Giles. I think Cliff Jones edited Somnoscope, but don't hold me to it. He might have edited the other one. I'm pretty sure Keith Giles edited Augmented. Oh, Anthony read my story in Emanations. Yeah, that's the one where I can't remember the editor's name. But he does a series of Emanations. And I've been in, I guess, about half a dozen issues. He issues it kind of like an annual thing, almost like a magazine, but it's bound like a paperback book. Carter Kaplan, thank you, Anthony. I should remember that, but I never do. He's a university professor somewhere back east. Well, Don, I'm glad I make your day. You guys all make my day by coming in to chat with me. I used to always watch the Charlie Brown Christmas, but some greedy streaming service made it, put it behind a paywall. And I can't afford to subscribe to all these things I'd like to watch. I did finally see Paycheck. It's sort of faithful to Philip K. Dick's story, Paycheck, but I can see why it was not a blockbuster hit. It was kind of almost a flop at, at the box office. But I think it was Amazon Prime had it for free. Anyway, um, awesome special effects, but as usual, the bad guys always missed when they shot at the good guy, but the good guy never missed when he shot at the bad guys. I did like that they had a woman who was a scientist and really good with technology, but you need to tell a good story and pay attention to continuity. One of the FBI agents was obviously helping the hero, but they didn't give him any motivation really for why he was doing that. Oh, Freeman just read If There Were No Benny Simoli and Oh to Be a Blobel. Phil wrote some really precious stories. They're more than good, they are awesome in their sentiment. Hmm. Oh, and I've been finding episodes of Rocky and Bullwinkle on YouTube. I got itchies and tickles all over me. The cats were really upset that I was absent for 24 hours. They had eaten all their canned food. They had plenty of kibble and water. And I set the heater a little low, but I didn't let them freeze. Well, they like to go out. Of course, in this weather, I don't think they'll enjoy it. They'll probably run back inside when I finally open the door. But also, the several of them like to sit on me while I'm sleeping. They're kind of like an electric blanket, a purring blanket. They keep me warm. Oh, and my brother, who is really finicky about chili, was at the Crestline Cafe with me. They let him do a taste test on their chili, and he liked it. So he got spaghetti with chili. It's spaghetti noodles with chili and cheese. I couldn't convince him to try the sour cream on it. Sour cream on a bowl of chili with cheese. It's just an awesome experience, but he didn't want to experiment. Freeman is on a delay due to poor reception and he isn't feeling well. Um, well, let's pray for Freeman to get better and feel better. and get better internet reception. And that might be what I had last week. I thought it was something I ate, so I went through the refrigerator and tossed out anything that was questionable. But I was down for an entire day, massive headache, didn't know which end to put on the toilet. And just basically lying down when I wasn't in the bathroom. I think it was Paycheck where the movie producer sued the estate and won a settlement. Well, they settled. I don't know the details, and if I did, I would not be allowed to talk about it anyway. But the estate lost money. It was either Paycheck or Adjustment Bureau. And I think it was Paycheck. Might have been Adjustment Bureau. It had to do with copyright. Oh, Don is a fan of Network. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Well, okay. Adjustment Bureau, yeah. It's really, except for the cheesy ending, it was a good movie, but had very little to do with Phil's story. Howard Beale tells it like it is. Yeah, just give me my radial tires. That was a big thing in the 70s. Give me, and you know, leave me alone. Yeah, Sidney Lumet was a great director. Awesome director. And Howard Beale, the first man to be assassinated for having poor ratings. His television talk show began to lose viewership. Well, they said that near the beginning of the movie. I didn't make it up, Dawn. Anyway, life is weird. I'm really tired of the news cycle. It's the same thing, not only every day, but every hour of every day. I'm tempted to put some peach schnapps in my orange juice, but the problem is I already drank all the orange juice, and I don't think I want to go out to get more. Well, I'm mad at the wealthy and powerful elites who seem to be running the world. No, I haven't found the Beatnik episode of Bullwinkle yet, Freeman. Oh, wait till Christmas Eve? Now, New Year's Eve, I kind of look forward to watching the ball drop over Times Square in New York, but I wonder what it's going to be like this year. Yes, Jack Kerouac, King of the Beats. Phil read his books, not all of them, one or two. Oh, he said beatific? Okay. All right, who wrote on the... let me ask Google first. Because I don't remember the title exactly. Travels with Charlie. Oh, yeah, Steinbeck. Charlie was a poodle, and the modern fact checkers, real researchers, say that Steinbeck made up most of it, but it's still a great book. Mm, wow. Well, the thing is, I can't sue publishers and movie producers, Freeman. If I wanted a piece of the pie, I would have to sue the estate, which would mean I was suing my own son along with his sisters. And I wouldn't win anyway. So I'm just not going there. Freeman Raptor has two P's. Don likes Elton John and Billy Joel equally. Yeah, they're both good musicians. Elton John, I know, composed his music, but his partner wrote the lyrics, and I can't remember the guy's name, but Elton John kind of went downhill when he broke up with the lyricist professionally. But I do like Indian Sunset. As I awoke this evening with the smell of wood smoke clinging. That's his original lyricist talking, quite the poet. Like a gentle cobweb hanging upon a painted teepee, and so on. It's a very long song, but well worth listening to. Jack Kerouac's books are expensive? Hmm. And he's dead. He doesn't get any money. You know it's really awful? Jack London, Call of the Wild, lots of poetry and other books. Did not leave a single penny to any of his children. He did leave a huge swath of land to the California state government, mostly in Sonoma County. He established a school for autistic children, which is now Sonoma State Hospital. Oh, the owner of the Celtics, the football team, bought Jack Kerouac's original manuscript of On the Road. Well, yeah, an original or a first edition might be worth a ton. Don prays for the kids and everyone. And quite a bit of the state forest in Northern California was left to the state by Jack London. But nothing for his children? He might at least have left them the home they grew up in. Well, Phil's children have hired a lawyer to handle the legal matters of the estate, but he isn't in charge, they are. And Phil's estate does not make very much money. As I keep repeating, all of his children have jobs. Oh, Freeman, thank you. Bernie Taupin wrote lyrics for Elton John. Oh, Freeman met Elton John and is not a big fan after that. I've heard that many times. My Facebook friend Wax Froggy Bob met, oh, come on, what's his name? Captain Picard on Star Trek. And now he doesn't like him. Oh, but Freeman met Tina Turner and she was very nice to him. Don, we love you too. Don loves us so much. Patrick Stewart played Captain Picard. He did not want to be typecast as a Star Trek character. It's common among actors to resist being typecast, but there are some who say, hey, I'm it makes me employable. I'll always have a job. Oh well. Let's see. I don't have a Christmas tree. There's no room for one. Plus, oh yeah, I do like Patrick Stewart in the X-Men movies, especially Wolverine, because I kind of like what's his name? Uh, Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine. I almost said his first name was Jack. And then I went, oh yeah. Patrick Stewart is a great actor, but apparently not a very nice person. Anyway, I usually put some garlands on one of the trees or bushes in my yard, but I haven't even done that. Well, Dawn, quit getting drunk. Get off your ass and make something of yourself. Oh, he's just joking. He's merry. I need to get some eggnog. Uh, well, you can be lazy, Don, and still put yourself out there and meet people. I knew a very close couple who met when they both joined the same bowling league. Even though they were on different teams, they hit it off. And they were both divorcees and they got married and were just totally in love. You'd think they were little teenagers or early 20s, but they were around 40. And it was, better than meeting someone at a bar because they drink and that could be a problem. Don journals and sleeps and pets his cat and goes to Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, Dunkin' Donuts has the best coffee. Well, Don, if you don't want your heart broken, you're going to live a very lonely life. Hearts get broken. The hardest thing for me was when I had to break up with a guy. I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but he wasn't for me. Better to quit after a few dates than to get really involved and then dump him. Yeah, there are obsessive Trek fans, but no, Waxy just wanted to take a selfie with Patrick Stewart, and his response was, well, if let you do that, then everybody would want to do it. And he didn't have the time to sit there and let people take selfies. Well, Dawn, if it wasn't meant to be, it was kinder for her to dump you now than to let it go on longer. Oh, Dawn, like Stevie Nicks. Oh, she writes her own songs. She's awesome. Unfortunately, after her song Rhiannon, a bunch of women named their daughters Rhiannon. And Rhiannon was the goddess who ate her own children. Ah, the guy who played Spock's father hated Trek fans? He was such a great actor. He was in that other series, I can't remember what it was called, but the family went through a portal inside the Great Pyramid and ended up in an alternate world. Not sure his name was Marcus Allen. Come here, Google. What have I done? Mark Leonard. Marklenard. Mark Leonard. Marcus Allen plays some sport. I'm not that into sports. Yeah, Marcus Allen, Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was a running back in the NFL for 16 seasons, primarily with the Los Angeles Raiders. Oh, Don is a fan of the Philly Flyers. Okay. You know what's sad? Oh, come on. I gotta Google something. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. See, when I was growing up, his name was Lou Alcindor, one of the greats of basketball, along with Wilt Chamberlain and some others. He suffered that heart thing. Yeah, Lakers. Uh, all right. He's been doing ads about it. Um, he was a center, 6-time NBA most valuable player. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people seem. Well, it just says cardiovascular disease. Um, he had bypass surgery in 2015, but he's doing ads to raise awareness of this thing where your heart goes wonky. Um, come on, scientific name. Yeah, yeah. It just isn't giving me the name of it, and I keep forgetting. Anyway, your heart goes wonky and beats all wonky. Not a murmur, it's more serious than that. Okay. It's an arrhythmia, but there's a specific name for it. I think it might be called AR. No, not arrhythmia. Atrial something. I think it's atrial fibrillation. The rhythm is off, and the atrium, where blood enters your heart, starts just fluttering. So the blood isn't moving and giving you oxygen. I can't yell at you, Don. I'm too tired to yell. Oh, that's what happened to my son. It will shorten his life, and he's only 50. But he has a pacemaker implanted. It should help. And the doctors told him he should be dead already. They don't know how he managed to survive, even in the ER with all those doctors working on him. He's a tough kid as far as health goes. Oh, Dawn's gonna listen to Joe Cocker's You Are So Beautiful to Me. That's a good song. It says a lot. Okay, let's see. Let's try Kareem Abdul Jabbar had a heart rhythm ad. don't want to. Yeah, I guess it's atrial AFib. That's what they call it. AFib, atrial fibrillation. So, someone got it right. Wrote fibrillation. Uh, who was that? Scroll. Yeah, Don says his heart goes wonky like Willy Wonka. Anthony got it right. Fibrillation. Uh, yeah, well, apparently, COVID, if you've had COVID, you could suffer AFib. Well, I was once diagnosed as borderline autistic, but it was behavioral, not mental. It was because of the way mom raised me. I outgrew it. Tora, don't bug me. I'm busy. She's trying to get my attention. You have my attention, but you haven't said hi to your adoring fans. I guess I'll have to point the camera at you. There she is. She keeps tapping my leg with her paw. Oh, come on, say hi. That's a good girl, Tora. Okay. I know she doesn't really want treats. She wants me to open the door, but not yet. It's cold out. Uh, uh, my back hurts. I promised a couple people that I would make them some jam. They all want my apple butter. I have not been up to making it. Well, turning off the lamp didn't really help the glare. The sun is coming out. The light now on me is just sunshine from the window. And I got eye itchies again. The steam vaporizer, or yeah, it's the kind you just breathe in. It doesn't do the whole room. One of my viewers sent it to me from my Amazon wish list, and it makes a huge difference in my sinuses and dry eyes. It helps a lot. Tora, don't bother me. I'm busy. Now she's just using cat ESP, thinking at me and staring at me. Well, the last time I gave you treats, you didn't eat them, and the spare cats had to clean them up. Okay. Here. Right there. They even extorted me this morning and got a can of people tuna. Hi, 3C. Hi, Smokey. Smokey. All right, let's get the camera. 3C. Short for 3CPO. And Smokey. Smokey's going to get spayed very soon. I'm just waiting for the voucher. The county here, San Bernardino County, issues vouchers to help with the cost of getting a cat spayed or neutered. They help with dogs too. We have a serious pet overpopulation. So many people adopted pets during COVID and then abandoned them when it was over. Why adopt a pet in the first place if you're going to abandon it? That is so cruel. Ah, and inhumane and inhuman. Oh, Tutu didn't get any treats. Tutu. My little ballerina kitty. Okay. Eat it or don't, Tutu. The other cats, 3C and Smokey, are scarfing it up. Mm. Oh, since I was down the hill and at an actual grocery store, I was able to get some things I haven't found up here on the mountain. Sea salt caramel with dark chocolate, Ghirardelli squares. And one of my all-time favorites, orange Milano. All they had up here was double chocolate flavor. I like the orange and chocolate cookies. And I sometimes use them to make a fake tiramisu. Tiramisu is made with a cookie that's shaped like these, but it's just basically a shortbread cookie. I like to use these, and instead of custard, I'll just make vanilla pudding from a box and then cover it with chocolate sauce. I like the cherry cordials. It's a cherry in either syrup or a sugary paste, and then surrounded by chocolate. But they're so messy. I can't touch anything else until I wash my hands. Well, I used to like turtles, Dawn, but I can't eat peanuts anymore. I guess I could make them with walnuts. They're a very basic candy. Well, yeah, you can't bite a turtle in half, but you can break it usually. And if you can't break it this way, you get a knife and a good heavy kitchen knife and whack it. Yeah, you got to eat the cherry cordials all at once, and even then, I end up with sticky fingers. Hey, 3C, don't claw my chair. That's a bad kitty. Tutu. I'm amazed at how tame they've become. They aren't tame in the sense of adoptable, but 3C and Tutu tolerate me. Don says one time a turtle swam past him at the parkway and swam up and spat water on him. Freeman had an ex-girlfriend who had to use the services of a veterinary minivan called the Neuter Scooter, complete with the old witch theme from Wizard of Oz. That sounds cool. Yeah, Turtle Nurdle is surreal, Don. Big turtle, he says. When I was very young, we had two pet tortoises. I don't remember for sure what happened to them, but I think one died and the other one dug under the fence and went to live with the neighbors. It's unlawful now to adopt a desert tortoise. They're endangered mostly from idiots um, off-roading in restricted areas. Their vehicle runs over the tortoise, breaks its shell, and kills it. It's amazing, isn't it, Anthony? His tortoise also escaped. They are so slow, and yet they do escape. They're looking for better food, I think. Oh, Disney's in big trouble. So, what are they doing? They're suing the makers of South Park for doing that parody. What was it called? Um, I've forgotten the title. I haven't seen it, just brief clips. We have a local pet shop that has a big tortoise, Galapagos size. You think you could sit on the tortoise, but if you weigh more than, a very small child, don't do it. It'll hurt them. Oh, I can't remember the South Park title. It's on the tip of my brain and it's stuck. Oh, Roberta Flack. The first time I ever saw your face. That's a great song. And it's kind of like when I met Phil. Wow. Oh, Lord. I cherish not being comfortable. There, here we go. I had to move the cushion. Ah, it's amazing how we can kind of tag significant events in our lives by tying them to popular songs. Mm. Well, having fun is good, Don. You can have fun. It's permitted. Oh, Lord. What a day. It's sunny out there, and my computer claims that it is now 47 degrees, which is a little better than 41. Okay, let's see. 47 F2C. So 47 Fahrenheit is 8 1/3 Celsius. But by the time we get to the middle of winter, 50 degrees feels warm. Oh, Don is smoking American Spirit again. Well, I have Camel filters. American Spirit actually costs the same as my favorite Dunhill Red. Uh, Poor Freeman used to dive in Lake Mead. Ooh, there's all kinds of things in there. When during the recent drought, Lake Mead is, where Hoover Dam is in Nevada. Um, so during the drought, when the lake level fell seriously low, they were finding dead bodies from like 50 years ago and cars that had ended up in the lake. So you made friends with a red-eared slider who loved cheese doodles. Okay, red-eared slider. Oh, those turtles. Yeah, we had some of those when I was little. My oldest brother caught them in the wild and put them in a pond in our backyard. Problem was they kept eating the goldfish. Well, at this point, South Park and Disney are talking, but in the media, Disney is making noises about a lawsuit. Now, I'm Team South Park too, Anthony. It's a parody that, and they're allowed to do that. It is not a copyright violation. And as I said, I've seen just brief clips of the South Park episode, but I'd kind of like to see the whole thing. Um, where is it? I'm putting down the cigarette to eat a little chocolate, one of the Ghirardelli squares, just a piece of it. It's been calling to me. I can't resist. Resistance is futile. Hmm. Hmm. The sea salt is not crunchy, though. I miss the crunch. It's just dissolved in the caramel. Mmm. Good, though. Hi, Smokey. I don't know what her original name was. She's one of the abandoned pets from post COVID. Hi, Angela. North Carolina, huh? Welcome in. Let me see. There, here. I can't type and talk at the same time. When I was in studying at the junior college, I would be walking across campus while chewing gum, talking to someone, and reading a book all at once. Now I can't even type and talk at the same time. My back is killing me. I don't know what I did to it. Hi, Ditch. Ditch is here. Oh. The only thing better than chocolate is chocolate with caramel. Mm. Oh, wow. Mm. Where am I from? Beautiful, whoops. Beautiful downtown Crestline in Southern California's Inland Empire. Anthony is in Great Britain near Portsmouth. Yeah, the Inland Empire is Riverside and San Bernardino counties. Many years ago, Los Angeles County was huge. San Bernardino seceded from Los Angeles and formed San Bernardino County. And then Riverside County seceded from San Bernardino County and formed their own county. And then Orange County seceded from Los Angeles County and formed their own county. Yeah, we're all a long ways from each other, but the internet brings us close. By the way, next summer, I think in July, there will be a Philip K. Dick Festival in Fort Morgan, Colorado, where Phil is buried in the family plot. Ditch, California is not the Holy Roman Empire. We're unholy as hell, but we are the Roman Empire. Let's see. So it's always a small gathering, friendly and easy on the budget. They show one of the movies made from Phil's work for free. It's part of the festival. And there's all kinds of presentations, displays of artwork, and you don't have to mortgage your firstborn child to attend. Oh, my back, the muscles are twanging. I have muscle relaxants somewhere around here. Oh, by the way, the other day, one of our informal local clubs did the Krampus walk. Very Christmassy. Krampus is the bad Santa who punishes bad little boys and girls. But they just walk around looking like Krampus. It's a wonderful thing to see. People up here are really in the spirit. We have Sky Park at Santa's Village. For years, Santa's Village was closed down. The original owners passed away, and it now past few years, a new outfit has revived it so kids can see Santa and go on rides and stuff. They even have a zip line for the more adventurous among us. And our local mountain museum has Santa on the weekends with some of the original furniture from the original Santa's village, Santa's sleigh bed and Santa's chair and so forth. And various Santas let people take photos, of their children talking to Santa Claus without charging any money for it and without having to go to a huge shopping mall. Always makes me think of the Christmas story where the boy goes to tell Santa what he wants. He wants a Red Ryder BB gun, and even Santa, just like all the other adults, Santa Claus says, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid." It's a great movie, and there's lots of ways to watch it for free, which I think I might do today. One can always hope. Mm, I drank all my tea already. Now I've got coffee and water and my cigarettes and my cats. Hi, 3C. You're a pretty girl. Uh, Now my front hurts. My back has settled down and my front hurts. It's probably my gallbladder. I get gallstones. I have both diet restrictions to reduce them and a medication to treat them. I'd rather prevent something than treat it, but I'm not going to starve to death just because the food I love might cause a gallstone. I am avoiding almonds. Shaved almonds are okay. It's that brown skin on the almonds that has something that can cause gallstones and kidney stones. How many cars? I have zero, no car. Phil had gallstones once so bad he was pressing his belly it reduces the pain, and he collapsed one of his lungs and had to go to the emergency room. He thought that he had eaten a very bad mushroom, but it turns out that was not the case. Freeman says Krampus takes bad children to the worst place on earth, Camden, New Jersey. Well, I don't know. There are people right now who would argue that Chicago, Detroit, and New York City all beat Camden for the title of worst place on earth. Angela doesn't have cats. Well, that's okay. I like dogs, but I, I can't afford to keep a dog. There's the shots and the licenses and surprise vet fees when your dog gets injured, especially since I now have 6 cats to feed. Three, well, technically 4 are feral. but one of the ferals has been living in my house for 16 years. Oh, Angela has 7 cats. Ditch has only 2. Lucky Ditch. Anyway, one, although she's feral, has been basically living here since she was born 16 years ago. 3 of them recently showed up. Around the 1st of June, a feral cat had her kittens under my house. She started with 4, but one of them disappeared, so that left 3. And then Mama Cat disappeared. I think she was rounded up by animal control because we were overrun with at least 50 feral cats. So here were these kittens. They were eating cat food. They were weaned, didn't need mommy cat's milk anymore. Oh, Ditch says his 2 cats do the work of 7. I can imagine. Kittens, especially, can be very destructive. So I won't be buying new furniture anytime soon. I'll just live with the claw marks. He went out. Um, anyway, these 3 just started. They figured out that I feed my indoor cats. Well, they're indoor, outdoor. They started coming into the house whenever the door was open to eat the cat food. And they aren't really tame, although Patches is a pest. Probably adoptable, but there are so many spare cats around that nobody wants one. 2 and 3C, 3CPO. Uh, those 2 are treats, but they are not adoptable. And then my main cat, Tora. I was down to just the one cat, Sweetie, the feral, the 16-year-old feral, when a lady and her children had to flee in the middle of the night due to domestic violence, and they could not take their cat. So I said, I'll take your cat, and they brought me the cat in the middle of the night, and that's Tora. It's Japanese for little tiger. So in the World War II movies, when the Japanese fighter pilots shout Tora, 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 they're saying tiger, tiger, tiger. And tigers are fierce. They'll sneak up behind you and kill you and eat you. Mm. Water's empty. Coffee's cold and almost empty. That's okay. There's more water and coffee in the kitchen. Ah, wow. And then Smokey just moved in. Very tame, too affectionate, to the point of get off me, cat. I'm busy. I want to sleep. Ditch says I should add a thermos to my wish list. Well, maybe. Or I should quit being lazy and making instant coffee. I could use the coffee maker and make a whole pot of real coffee. Okay, thanks for dropping in, Angela. Merry Christmas. Well, anyway, Smokey was abandoned by her humans. And at first I thought Smokey was a male, and I was relieved because I'm not taking in any more kittens or cats. She has to be spayed. She's a female. And I can't put it off. Plus, it costs twice as much to have a female spayed as it does to have a male neutered. Yeah. Anyway, so we had the Krampus walk. We had a Christmas light display contest for like the most beautiful business display, the most beautiful home display, and the most humorous, and so forth. And what else have we done on this mountain? Well, we probably will have a white Christmas. It has snowed way up high at ski resort level, but not a lot. But this weekend we'll probably get temperatures dropping and have a little dusting of snow down here. We're only at 5,000 feet here in Crestline, so we usually don't get a lot of snow. Last March, Snowmageddon was a 50-year event, so it probably won't happen again in my lifetime. And our county was miserably underprepared. They sent up a couple snowplows and claimed that they were surprised at how much snow we got, even though it was forecast by all the meteorologists. Well, snowplows can only do so much. When your snow is 3 or 4 feet deep, you need a skip loader or a backhoe or a front loader to scoop it up, and then you need a skip loader, take it to a lake or a park and dump it and come back. You need dump trucks to take the snow away. The snowplow can't go through more than a few inches. Yeah, well, our county supervisors don't live in the mountains. They don't know. They don't know what they're doing. And all the weather reports were warning us we'd get not inches, but feet of snow. And the snowplows couldn't push it to the side of the road, which is what they do, because the side of the road was already 3 or 4 feet deep. Geniuses, yeah, brilliant. We are of the opinion that the county wanted to declare a disaster so that the state government would pay for the snow removal. And the state government delayed because they wanted to declare a disaster and get federal funds to remove the snow. Meanwhile, some people did pass away, but very few. And the one lady in particular was probably close to dying anyway, but the electricity didn't work, and that's why I'm so against all electric. If she'd had a gas heater, her house would have been warm. But the electricity was down because the snow knocked out electricity all over the mountain for a couple weeks. The Edison couldn't even get in to many places to repair the lines. And she ran out of firewood for her fireplace because she couldn't get outside to the snow, to the wood pile, which was covered in snow. After several days, her neighbors dug out the front door and they knew where the spare key was, so they went in to check on her, and she had passed away lying on the rug in front of her fireplace. I got very lucky. My heat is gas, and my water heater quit because the snow buried the exhaust pipe, so it shut itself down for safety. But my stove worked. My gas stove worked, so I was able to boil water when I needed hot water. And the geniuses in Sacramento want us to go all electric. I don't think so. As high as the price of gas has gone, electricity still costs more. And solar panels are not an option here. If the snow load doesn't kill the panels, falling tree branches will. Oh, and then there's the critters like raccoons and such, and birds that might land on the solar panels and get fried. We don't want to kill our squirrels and birds. Some of us want to kill the raccoons, but it's illegal. When some fools move up here and start feeding the wildlife, you get a population explosion, and there are so many raccoons that there isn't enough food, and they start breaking into people's homes. Oh, Ditch had hypothermia once in a blizzard. It's terrifying. My son and his buddy were out hiking in the wilderness once when a freak snowstorm hit, and it was uh, getting dark. Night was falling. So they took their trash bags, their plastic trash bags, the big black ones, used a couple of them between tree branches to keep the snow off, and then they made makeshift sleeping bags out of trash bags. So there's more than one reason to follow the pack it in, pack it out rule of when you leave the wilderness, you take your trash with you. Those trash bags came in really handy. My son said, yeah, he wasn't cold that night. He was fine. But, he couldn't see to walk out at night with snow falling, and he didn't want to get lost. Here goes my back again. Oh, Lord. I'm going to get a little more water. Be right back. Look at the kitty cat. Look at the kitty. Hi. You silly girls. Oh, hi, sweetie. Hang on. I've only got 6 paws. After 16 years, Sweetie still runs away if I'm walking around the house. Oh, they didn't have sleeping bags with them because they were not planning to spend the night. Don is still sad because the woman dumped him. He's probably better off without her. One Ritz cracker coming up. Mm. Mm. Um, Crackers tend to settle my tummy when it's upset at me. Oh, thank you for coming in, Anthony. Sorry you gotta go. Oh, my back. Ouchie. I gotta check the battery on my modem. I don't want to get shut down in the middle of things. It's about 50%. It'll go a little longer. Oh, my back hates me today. Wow. I put a towel down on the kitchen floor because no matter how careful I am, I end up splashing water from the sink or the tea kettle. And now the cats think it's their new toy. Oh, I can't wait to. I brought half of my sandwich home yesterday. I can't wait to eat it, eat the other half. And they make their French fries at Crestline Cafe with real potatoes, so you can reheat them in the oven, unlike those plastic French fries from fast food places. Oh, Ditch, you didn't hear me earlier. I couldn't decide on whether I wanted a BLT or turkey or ham. And then I saw this sandwich they have that has all three: bacon, turkey, and ham with lettuce and tomato. And oh man, I didn't have to choose. Oh, Ditch made steak and kidney pies. Yes, that's very British. I love steak and kidney pie. It's hard to find, and I've tried making it, but I'm no good at it. Oh, and it's expensive to buy it. Oh, my back. But I got into that when Phil, once in a while, when I was at his house, he'd bake these pot pies that he got from Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's doesn't have them anymore. But they were in a tin, so you didn't, you just take the lid off and bake it. They're pre-cooked, but you need to get them hot. Oh man, the steak and kidney pies. There's this South American brand. That's probably why it's so expensive. It's made with pork kidneys and beef steak. Even more flavorful than the British recipe with either lamb or beef kidneys. Oh, my back. Quit doing that to me. I'm trying to remember where I put the muscle relaxants. I think I know, but it might be a monumental task to get into that box. I'm going to try it right now before my back gets worse. Hi, kitties. Are you entertaining? Yeah, the kitties are very entertaining. Come on. Let's see. No, it's not this box. It's the one underneath. I can't see inside it. I might get the flashlight. Wait a minute. Baclofen. That's it. Okay. Oh, I don't hide them. I have all my vitamins and my one prescription, if you don't count the inhaler, all together in a box. But since I'm still sorting and organizing, things get moved around a lot. Okay, it'll take a while to take effect. But I got the pill down. I hate taking pills. It's my throat doesn't like to swallow pills. Anyway, no, I'm not hiding my drugs. All I have is the muscle relaxants and an inhaler. And my vitamins. But, no, I cannot tolerate the various pain pills. They make me vomit, and I'd rather die than vomit. Ah. Oh, man. Whew, what a day. I'm still missing Gil. I keep forgetting the name of his channel. He died in September, suddenly, unexpectedly. Only, I don't think he was exactly 50, but he was in his 50s. Uh, Cardinal Sin. There are tributes on his channel, his YouTube channel, Cardinal Sin. He got me this desktop computer that I'm using, and Freeman got me a laptop. I keep trying to block out an hour or two to power it up and use it. Something weird on my door. But every time I do that, the universe intercedes and I have to go do something else. I'm going to take a look at my door. There's something on it. What? You cats? Don't mess with me, you cats. Move it. Yeah, there's something on it. I don't know what it is. All right, if you want to go out, you can go out. Oh, must be a shadow. There's nothing there. Here. You went out, kitties? Go on, cat. Good girls. Oh, you went out too, sweetie? It's too cold to leave the door open, you guys. Ah! No, Tora, what's up, too? Go on. Go on then, kids. Come on, it's cold out. Please, interrupt, Tora. That's a good girl. You too, Smokey. Ah! All the kitties are outside. Usually, Tora just wants the other cats to go out. Yeah, well, I think Cardinal Sin was worth listening to. And he usually had a guest or two. I think his old videos are still up there if you want to sample his work. And then, anyway, I will eventually block out an hour or two to power up the laptop for the first time. It's a refurb, and Freeman warned me not to use the disk drive. It needs repair. But hey, that doesn't matter. I have, the desktop has its own CD, DVD drive, and I have a DVD player and a VCR that still work. Knock on wood. But I want to really take the time to explore the laptop the first time I turn it on. Ditch is going to do more animation just to have something to put on his channel. You have a channel, Ditch? Is your channel called Ditch? Feel free to post the name of your channel in the chat. I'm all for promoting YouTubers, unless they're satanic. Your channel is called Ditch. Cool, I'll have to check it out. Victoria, welcome. We're running up toward the 2-hour mark. An hour and 43. But, next week, Thursday comes after Christmas. So I thought I'd talk about Christmas this week. And of course, I'm rambling and talking about all kinds of other stuff. Ah. Ow. I love letting the cats out during the day. Less litter box duty. With 6 cats, the litter box can be overwhelming. Oh well. Anyway, that and feeding them. They do kind of hunt, but all they ever catch is bugs. One of them caught a mouse, but it was already dead, so I confiscated it because it was probably poisoned. Some people put out rat poison around here, and they really should not. Well, Freeman's typing something. All I see at the moment is a colon. Finding time for the laptop. He's so glad. Yeah. And I still have your memory card. You might want it back. I don't have your address because the box that the laptop came in was so damaged. It was no longer legible. So I don't have your return address to send the memory card. Okay, Ditch has a Phil question. Phil never had a computer. Even though computers existed, he would not give up his manual typewriter. He didn't trust computers. And in 1980 to 82, we had good reason not to trust them. They were not yet affordable for most people anyway. Well, oh well. I can't wear my Santa sweater and my elf hat because they managed somehow to get a little musty smelling in storage. I don't know where they picked up moisture because they were in one of those plastic zipper bags inside a plastic tub with a lid, but they managed it. So they're going to have to go through the washer with some vinegar in hopes that that will kill whatever's making that odor. Oh, when he was coming up with We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, well, he wrote that long before I met him. But he was reading things about false memories and how somebody, maybe the CIA, was brainwashing people like the Manchurian Candidate. And he thought, well, the ultimate brainwashing was to get the consumer to pay to be brainwashed. Ditch says manual typewriters are great. A lot of writers still use them, including the guy who's making the game that Ditch is working on. Yeah, I wish I had mine, but I let my son borrow it, and his girlfriend deliberately broke it. And it was not repairable. I briefly had an electric typewriter, but okay, thank you, Freeman. It was not practical, and it was so heavy and so big. First typewriter I ever used was when Granny gave us her old Underwood upright. You had to have major muscles to press those keys. Oh, my back. Come on, I hope the muscle relaxant takes effect soon. I don't use them every day. I use the muscle relaxants only when the pain gets bad. Oh, human is Freeman's favorite. It helps with his own time traveler story. Angus took a typing course at Paul Revere Junior High in Pacific Palisades in 1987, and they were using Underwood manuals from the 40s. Yeah, upright means that the back of it is up higher than the keyboard, and the portable typewriters were almost flat, just on a little angle. I think you mean evil, Evil. Freeman, looking for the right sort of maniacs who are rich and evil at the right year. Oh, Ditch had a 1957 Royal. I had a Royal once. I don't know when it was made, but I had it in the mid 1960s. Granny gave it to me. Oh, Ditch restored it and sold it. Well, we do what we gotta do. Hmm. My Royal was in one of those boxes made of layers and layers of cardboard covered with a kind of bumpy plastic. And you'd take the lid off but leave the typewriter in the bottom of the box. I miss that typewriter. It was where the one I used to write my first published article. Oh well. Anyway, it was great little typewriter, and you could still use it when the electricity went out. That's one of the major problems with computers. When you have a power outage, well, your laptop might work for a couple hours, but around here the internet is probably down and the desktop won't work at all. And of course, the modem will run out of battery. Mm. Oh, IBM Electric. I used an IBM Selectric at work for a while. I had studied typing. I took a typing course in a summer school between the 8th grade and the ninth grade. I guess I was pretty good at it. Evil back. Quit it. Hmm. Anyway, I had these coupons for free candy bars. I had returned a couple Mars brand, Three Musketeers and a Milky Way. Oh, and it's not the same. They're neither one is the same as they are in England or Canada or Europe. Three Musketeers is chocolate covered nougat, very light and fluffy. Milky Way is nougat with a layer of caramel on top and then wrapped in chocolate. Well, I had bought the little ones that cost slightly more than $1. They sent me coupons for the bigger ones, and I was in shock when I read the receipt from the grocery store. The coupons zeroed them out, but the big ones, supposedly enough for two people, Each one is a $2.69. When I was a child, that was the size that cost 10 cents. The little ones were 5 cents. I guess my age is showing. But I was in shock when they went up to a whole dollar, which is 10 times as much as a dime. $2.69 each. Fortunately, the coupons they sent me covered the whole price. Um, wow. Trying to find out what novel you're talking about. Oh well. Later. Oh, Cormac used Olivetti's, never computers. Olivetti was supposed to be a really good brand of typewriter. Do I remember 25-cent cigarettes? Yes, Victoria. And if you bought the whole carton at once, it was $2, which came to 20 cents a pack. That's when I started smoking. Now you pay more for one pack than it used to be for the whole carton of 10 packs. Oh, you're talking about Blood Meridian by Carthy McCormack. Okay. They claim it's the best Western ever, in the mainstream at least. And perhaps, Angus says, perhaps the finest American novel of the last century as far as mainstream, but certainly the best Western ever. I started reading some of the, oh, what's his name? Novels by a long dead writer of Westerns who actually, used real history to form the basis of his stories. And they're just not well written. Oh, Cormac McCarthy, temporary dyslexia. Okay. Louis L'Amour, thank you, Angus. How'd you get that from the little hint that I gave? Now, Louis L'Amour just was not a very good writer, but the stories are interesting. He wasn't even like a journalist. Some fiction written by journalists, you can tell they're journalists, but it's still really good. Louis L'Amour needed to go back to school and take creative writing, but I still read them because they're fascinating. Well, Freeman, I still haven't watched the video clip that made Victoria insane. I'm scared to. Yeah, we're all bookworms here, Ditch says. Oh, wow. Angus says he never met him but read many of his books, and his dad still has them autographed and many in leather-bound cover. They are worthy of reading. But really, they'd be so much more popular if he knew a little more about writing creatively. Ditch says it doesn't take much for us to know an author from a brief description. Angus recommends about 10 great westerns by Elmore Leonard. Never heard of Elmore Leonard. Before he got into crime fiction. Angus says Lamore is fun but certainly formulaic. He makes John Jakes read like John Updike. Cute. Okay, it's 2 hour mark. I'm not signing up, but I gotta take a quick bathroom break. That's what I mean when I say recycling coffee. So hang in there, I'll be back. Ah, dum 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 dum. Oh, Lord God. Okay. Yes. Hang in there. Here goes. Dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dee-dum-de-dee-dum-de-dee-dum, dum-de-dee-dum-de-dee-dum. Ralph the kitty, a wonderful kitty of cat. Here she is, a kitty of cat, if ever a kitty was cat. Ah, oh boy. Dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum. Oh, Taurus at the door. Like an elf on the shelf, a Torah at the door. I'm coming, sweetie. Come on in, kitty cat. You coming in, sweetie? No, duh. Tora and Sweetie came in, and there's no competition from the kittens because they're all outside. Settle down, Tora. Get off my desk. Bad cat. Well, you don't eat dates. I think you eat treats. Yes? Oh, she wants her treats over here, not over there. Well, I can't put them down if they're in midair. Okay, over here then. There you go. No, I'm not going to follow you around the whole house. Eat them or don't. Cats. Oh, you guys read a lot of crime fiction. Ditch says, "Hi, Howard." I said, "Hi, Howard." Ditch says, pours beer on carpet, starts a small fire, lets all the cats out, starts playing Freebird badly on the acoustic guitar. Sounds like something I might do, except for the small fire. See, I don't drink beer, so I would pour it out somewhere. Fruity Oaty bars. Oh, Angus loves Dick Francis, who wrote all those horse-related mysteries. Always fun. I think people claim that they read Michener's Centennial when they really didn't. they read reviews or skimmed a couple chapters. It's a humongous book. But he is a great writer. It's just daunting to open the book and find the time to sit down and read it. Ditch is more into sci-fi and horror than mysteries and crime fiction. Yeah. But now that I've discovered Agatha Christie's writing and not just the movies, I find her very readable and interesting. She's been dead for something like 70 years, something 50, 60, 70 years. I think she lived to around 1970. I have not read any of Michener's books. I've only skimmed little bits of them and read reviews. I'm chicken. Besides, I still have to read a bunch of Philip K. Dick stuff, or I'll never finish my analysis of the exegesis. Oh boy. Angus says Michener had no choice but to show off his research because his novels were essentially about research, at times using historians or journalists as bridging characters. Yeah. I really should set aside some time for Michener. I ain't getting no younger. I'm fast approaching 70, 6 more months. But yeah, and I know I would enjoy it. His writing is awesome. Anyway, I guess if I had to pick a favorite author other than the one I married, it would have to be William Faulkner. Not only his novels and stories, he wrote the screenplay for The Maltese Falcon. Oh, Angus plans to read Mexico by Michener. He loved Gary Jennings' Aztec. Real whopper and very gory at times, like Apocalypto. Oh, who's the guy who writes all those stories set in the Southwest? And his main character is a Navajo, a Native American who is some kind of cop, I think forestry or something. And something about a coyote is all I can remember of the title. Jim Chee novels? I don't think so. Coyote Waits is one of his books? It might be. Let me check. I'm terrible with names. Yeah, Navajo Tribal Police Detective, Tony Hillerman. Oh, Jim Chee is the character. Tony Hillerman. I love his books. Oops. Typo in that. His books are awesome. And Joe Leaphorn. Yeah. Angus says, I love Hillerman's earthy and yet mystic writing style, very clear and captivating. Yeah. Ooh. Now I'm going to have to watch the Maltese Falcon again. And then there's the parody of the Maltese Falcon. They're all looking for the black bird. It was good too. Let me see. Maltese Falcon parody. The Cheap Detective. Directed by John Huston, by the way. Maltese Falcon was. But The Cheap Detective. And there's a comedic sequel to the Maltese Falcon called The Black Bird. I think it says Seagal. I think Steven Seagal is Sam Spade's son. Sam Spade Jr. So there was one called The Black Bird. But The Cheap Detective with, isn't he the guy who played Columbo? Let me see. And some of the actors who usually did the Young Frankenstein type movies. Yeah, Peter Falk, Columbo as the Chief Detective, Dom DeLuise, John Houseman, Madeline Kahn, Eileen Brenner, Louise Fletcher, Sid Caesar, and Stockard Channing. Who the heck is Bess? All capital letters. Oh, Stockard Channing as Bess. Sid Caesar as Ezra Desire, Marsha Mason as Georgia Merkel, and John Houseman as Jasper Blubber, originally Sidney Greenstreet. Oh my. I don't think I remember enough of the Black Bird. I'm going to have to find it and watch it. All right, getting his day started. Nice chatting with all of you. Okay, Freeman says other than Phil and Elroy, his favorite author is Brian Daley. Okay. I do like some of Mark Twain's work. I'm pretty sure it was Mark Twain, the champion, I think it's champion, leaping frog of Calaveras County. Calaveras is a real county in Northern California. And so it's either jumping frog or leaping frog. They have an annual contest. Angus confirms that's Twain. Twain is always great. I love his sense of humor. For example, the reports of my death are highly exaggerated. And I don't know, his insults are even better. Oh, Angus likes William Soroyan. Okay. I can't remember any of his insults. Vonnegut. Well, Slaughterhouse-Five was great, but Breakfast of Champion was crap. Breakfast of Champions. He was just, putting out a bunch of nonsense because he knew he could publish anything and it would make money. Angus likes Tom Robbins and Christopher Moore. Oh, Breakfast of Champions, you liked it, huh? Phil threw it out. He bought the book, opened it up, and there's a little picture of a sketch of a sort of a wrinkly circle, and it says, "This is a pea," like green peas. And it isn't even green, it's just black ink. And he threw the book in the trash. Yes, I fished it out, but I don't have it anymore, and I don't know what happened to it. Angus says Jailbird wasn't very good either. I think Breakfast of Champions you could like it if because of the humor, but I really think he didn't try very hard on that one. Freeman likes a parody called Cast a Deadly Spell with H.P. Lovecraft as a private detective in a world of magic. Sounds interesting. I know that okay, what's his name? Vonnegut could write. Great writer, but I really don't think he was trying very hard with Breakfast of Champions. Oh, Hocus Pocus. Let me see. Is that like the comedy movies that I've seen? Hocus Pocus? It's a satirical and darkly okay. Um. Plot summary. Oh, that's much more than the movie called Hocus Pocus. I don't think it's based on his book. No, it isn't. Oh well. Welcome to the Monkey House is also a good Kurt Vonnegut book, and a separate anthology which contained his stories, big city stories. Oh, Timequake was disappointing? Huh. And Angus saw him give a talk on that tour in Brentwood. The movie is just a screenplay, a Disney movie. Yeah, but it's a fun movie. Probably made for kids, but I enjoyed it too. Oh, gee. My email says, congratulations, you're pre-approved for a credit card. Oh, I thought this was from a real person. Nope, it's an outfit wanting me to donate money. They're getting better at writing their fundraising letters. Okay, out of the email. You loved his talk. Good. Sounds interesting. A Vietnam veteran teaching autistic children at an exclusive school. That's got real possibilities. Oh, as far as movies go, by the way, if you have not seen Jacob's Ladder, you need to see it. And if you pay attention during the closing credits, it says based on a true story. Um, some of the Vietnam soldiers were dosed with LSD and other hallucinogens without their knowledge or permission. Oh, Patches wants in. Hang on, kitty catty. Oh, Time Bandits. That's a good movie, El Freeman. Hang on. Come on, Patches. Yes, you can come in. That's a pretty kitty. Well, Tora didn't eat her treats. Do you want them, Patches? Patches has patches of orange on her cheeks. Here you go, sweetie pie. There's the kitty cat. Well, I tried to write the novel that Phil would have written, but apparently that was not a good idea. So I stick to writing my own stuff, like my surrealist novel, The Darkening of the Light. Well, you left two of the treats and you want more? Now you go eat the ones you got. Patches, you're a pest. Come say hello and show him your pretty orange patches. Oh, she even has one on her nose. See, orange patches. You're a silly kitty. You're a cold cat. Your fur is cold. Look it, you missed these. Now go eat your cat food. Whoa. Anyway, yes, dear, you're cute. Now hush. Now you get off of me. You're a pest, even when you're purring. Quit that. Look at, there's a kitty in the computer. See? Here you go. Uh, get off my case. Go on. Angus says his own writing is more like Jack Vance than Phil, in that he focuses more on adventure than character. Phil wrote a lot about relationships, often rough marriages, and he's never been married. And yet, people complain that Phil's characters have no depth. I disagree. I think the readers need to think more deeply about what he says, about what Phil says in his novels about his characters. Can't write credibly about domestic strife or bliss? Well, just substitute one of your parents for a significant other and see if that'll help you. Ah, get off me. How dare you claw the mommy? I don't care if you want to sit on my lap. You aren't sitting, you're clawing. Bad, Patches, bad cat. Yeah, exactly. Angus Phil had far more depth in his characters than he's given credit for. He just didn't hit you over the head with it. Patches, get off me. There's even people tuning in your dish that you haven't eaten. There is. Here, check out your food dish. Guy. She turned her nose up at the canned food and went to eat the kibble. Hey, idiot. Look at tuna fish. Right there, right here. Ugh. Don't push your luck, Patches. Just, but I want more treats. Mommy. Okay, all right. You did say hi to your adoring fans, so I guess you can have some more. Silly little cat. Let's see. Angus can write decent characters, but they are often in the midst of fast moving adventures or intrigue. A lot of his characters are sort of working class spies or warriors, very blue collar or intelligent but without much college. Get off me, Patches. And he sends a lot of his characters to a failing middle of the road college he created for his stories. Sounds interesting. What? I really need to finish writing my second murder mystery. It has local settings here on the mountains and characters who are not real people, but I can't help throwing in or tossing in little bits and pieces of people I know, but they're not really the same as the character in the book. Just want to give my character something unique. No, Pat, just quit it. It's probably more than coincidence that we have a community here called Twin Peaks. So my detective lives in Twin Peaks with her cat. And I'll bet you the title of that TV series and movie was named after our little community of Twin Peaks. Oh gosh, now I want cherry pie. If you've watched Twin Peaks, you know why. And there should be an owl around here somewhere and a pet log. Oh well. We're approaching 2.5 hours. I think it's time for me to heat up the French fries and eat the other half of my sandwich. At least Patches has settled down for now. Hi, Tora Tora. Are you a good kitty? Yeah, you haven't been pestering me very much. Well, Patches ate the treats that you didn't eat. Didn't you, Patches? Such a sweet little girl. Patches knows not to challenge Tora. Ah, faith of our fathers. Yeah, Phil had a lot of experience in life, and where he didn't actually have his own experience, he listened to other people's stories about their lives and their experiences. There's a lot to be said for learning how to listen. Angus says in modern fiction, the author makes things too easy on their characters. Yeah, this is why most of Angus's characters, that's Angus Orvid, by the way, are poor or barely middle class, some living in co op housing, sort of socialist, gritty. And he has 3 characters who live in trailers. Yeah, Phil could write about regular people. He really liked them better than the entitled elites and the college educated. I like to call them college educated morons. Politically incorrect, but that's what they are quite often. Quite often. People who presume to tell me who I am and what my life is like, as if they knew, without ever taking a look at me or my life. You know, either I'm entitled or I'm oppressed. Either I suffer discrimination or I apply discrimination wrongly to other people. How do they know? Discrimination in itself is not a bad thing when it's used properly. Like when I'm choosing a meal at a restaurant, I discriminate. I choose one thing to order and not the other things. When I decide to vote, I discriminate and vote for only one candidate and not the others. Okay, let's see. Angus could identify with Phil about getting to know regular people. His grandparents were shopkeepers, Angus's grandparents. So he grew up around small business people, mechanics, plumbers, working people, not rich. Yeah. Now, Phil started out as a salesperson at a record store, and for a short time he was a DJ on an FM radio station playing classical music. Oh, shall I make a t-shirt design called Tessa's Tesseracts? Maybe I could make a little money doing that. Good idea, Freeman. And I was kind of winding down, and Angus started getting really interesting. He says Phil has a lot of heart in his writing. And at times it could just knock Angus out with epiphanies and revelations. Howard wants a Torah fan club t-shirt. Well, if I can get Torah to pose properly so I get a decent photo of her with a good background, yeah, I could put her on a t-shirt. Tessa's Tesseracts love Torah, or Torah says hi to Tessa's Tesseracts. Angus says when an android turns out to be a better human being than a human being, that is powerful. Also, imposter, the alien impersonating the human, is a better human being. And his wife knows it. Yeah. There is a movie, Imposter, highly underrated. It really is a good movie. You don't have a lot of special effects. You don't have car chases. And, well, you have one shootout around the beginning between humans and aliens. Angus says that's also what Starman was about. Alien as better than human. Angus loved Starman. Okay. Sounds like a good note to wind down on. One of John Carpenter's best films. Yeah, John Carpenter could tell a good story. I'm not thrilled with his prose, but he's better than Stephen King. Oh my God, I have to make this novel 300 pages. Let's describe him getting up in the morning and shaving and looking in the mirror and putting on his clothes before anything starts happening. That's Stephen King. Yeah. but John Carpenter's better than that. And I think he's the one who wrote The Fog. I think that was John Carpenter. Yes, Howard, Merry Christmas to all. Uh, oh, wow. Now I'm going to have to watch a bunch of movies. I'm going to spend the whole day playing free movies on the computer, and I really have to make jam. There are people who expect a jar of homemade jam at Christmas. I make it with half the sugar of what you get with store-bought jam. I have to use a special pectin and cook it right and so forth so it is not liable to spoiling. And they all want apple butter, which is the hardest one because I have to peel the apples, core them, and chop them up real small. Don't tell anybody, but if I don't have enough apples, I add a can of applesauce. Also, the apple butter that you buy at the store is always too liquid. It runs off of your toast. So I make it extra thick with extra pectin and a little lemon juice to kick it up a notch. And in my apple butter, you can taste the apples as well as the cinnamon. Okay. Oh, I don't want to peel apples. I have to. I got green apples this time. They pack more flavor than the red ones. I, I'm considering a date jam or jelly, but I'm not sure. Or maybe figs. Fig jam is quite an experience. And the food bank gave me this big bag of dried pieces of figs, just the innards, not the whole fruit. I'm kind of puzzled about what to do with them. They might make a nice fig jam or jelly. I had some fig jam once I was with a friend at an airport. I think it was in Denver. It was either Denver or Los Angeles. And I had a ham sandwich with fig jam on it. It was awesome possum. Angus loves Poliner strawberry preserves. I used to make all kinds of jam and give it away, and someone talked me into selling it. But I'm not able to make jam in that quantity anymore. It's hard for me to stand at the stove and stir the pot for very long. It gets painful. I should get a bar stool to sit on while I do that, but the act of stirring will still hurt my back. Oh, the stand was excellent. Oh, yeah, I always get that confused. My favorite Stephen King movie is Stand By Me, where the boys are walking down the railroad tracks so they can see a dead body. Angus loves a Monte Cristo with jam or syrup, but hates powdered sugar. Well, I have always put melted butter and powdered sugar on my French toast, but the last time I made it, I was lazy, so I just poured real maple syrup on it, not that pancake syrup that's made from corn syrup, but actual maple syrup. Oh my, it was so awesome. Yeah, you get it. Powdered sugar makes a mess on your hands and your lips and your plate, but when it's mixed with melted butter, it is quite an experience. Stop it, Tora. Don't claw my chair. You want to say hi to your adoring fans? Come here. Give me the kitty cat. Give me you. Oh, you're freaking heavy. Oh, yeah. Oh, kitty kisses. Yes. Pretty girl. That's good, little Tora. Can't hold you up very high 'cause you're heavy. She must weigh at least 10 pounds. I'm thinking 15. Yeah, you're just a good girl. Now Freeman wants a jar of jam. Well, we'll see how much I can make without dying from the pain. Tora's favorite book is Garfield. A book of Garfield comics, of course. Garfield is her hero. Okay, yes, Tora, you do get treats after saying hello to your fans. All right, here you go, right there. Oh, Lord. Well, anyway, it's been real. We're almost at 2 3/4 hours. And I am hungry. I don't eat first thing in the morning. I'm not hungry, and there's many reasons why it's better to wait a couple hours after you wake up before eating. Health reasons. I forget what they are, but you digest your food better if you wait a couple hours, and you should focus on protein as well as carbs. Like bacon and eggs or sausage and eggs is much better for you than a bowl of cereal. But I love my Cheerios and my shredded wheat and my corn flakes. I make my own Raisin Bran because the stuff that comes in a box has such pitiful dried up raisins. I get something like Wheaties and add raisins from the box or the bag. Angus loves cereals. They're supposed to be terribly bad for you, especially in the morning, because they give you that rush of energy. Well, excuse me, I like the rush of energy. I'm not much into the sweetened cereals, although once in a while I'll have Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles. But mostly, well, if you don't add any sugar, they actually have less sugar than you would add. But just the same, I'd rather make a bowl of oatmeal. I get the old fashioned oats, the 5 minute ones, not the gooey slop that cooks in 1 minute. I did try um, steel cut oats. They're too, first off, you have to cook them for half an hour. And second, they come out like paste, like school glue, with an occasional hard bit that just didn't get hydrated. So I'll stick with the old fashioned rolled oats that cook for 5 minutes. I start the water with some raisins in it to get them all plumped up and a little cinnamon to get it properly dissolved. And when it's boiling, I start adding the oats. I learned years ago if you add the oats to cold water and then boil it, it's just nasty. Angus used the junky ones as a child, the junky cereals, but now just maybe cornflakes and wheat. Yeah. Well, I never did like corn pops or sugar pops. I liked the ads they showed during Saturday morning cartoons. Once there were some bad guys who were so bad, they even made noise with their straws. And the guys are sitting in the saloon drinking sodas through straws, and at the end of the soda, they make noise with their straws. And then Sugar Pops Pete came along, and from his two pistols, he shot sugar pops at them, and they turned into good guys, nice guys, sweet guys. Angus loved doing that at movies. Violin straws, making noise with your straw. I have trouble with straws now, so I usually just drink my juice or whatever without a straw. Freeman, glad to see you too. Yeah, this week did go fast, but it's definitely time to pack it in and get something to eat. And I'm really wanting to heat up those real French fries made with sliced up potatoes. You know, they're shaped like fries, but they're fat and moist and totally reheatable because they're not made with freeze dried potato flakes. They're made with actual potatoes, and they are so good. If you ever visit Crestline, find the Crestline Cafe right next to the post office. Their infrastructure is showing a few signs of the catastrophic loss of income during COVID, but they're recovering and they're very popular for good reason. And they're reasonably priced. They are not high end. They cost more than Denny's, of course, but what you get for your money is really totally worth it. Okay, and then my other choice, if you have the bucks to spend, is Mandarin Garden in Agua Fria, right next to Blue Jay. It's a Chinese restaurant. Well, obviously, it's Mandarin. And they are apparently famous for their orange chicken. And they have a thing called a poo poo platter, which is appetizers. You order it for however many people are going to eat it. And it includes paper chicken, which they now wrap in foil instead of parchment paper, ribs, one rib for each person. And they don't have a ton of meat on them, but they're quite delicious. And shrimp with a nice dip for it, a kind of I think it's a sweet and sour dip, fried shrimp, and what else? Anyway, just little, things to try. Angus says he thinks they had a poo poo platter at Kelbo's in West LA. It's just samples of everything. Oh, and of course, an egg roll for each person. By the time I finish the poo-poo platter, I have to get a box and take the meal home with me. Oh well, it's a nice place. They have a smaller Mandarin garden in Crestline, but it is not as good. They don't have the facilities for a full kitchen, so they get their sauces in jars, whereas the one in Agua Fria makes their own sauces. And I can tell the difference, but if I don't want to travel that far, the one in Crestline is fine. And they have a thing I never remember what it's called, but it's chicken wrapped in a Chinese tortilla, which is kind of more like a crepe or crepe. It's French, it's really crepe, but we tend to say crepe. And the chicken is wrapped in that, and you dip it in plum sauce. Oh, it's awesome. Angus says Kelbo's was like Trader Vic's, Hawaiian, Polynesian, etc. And he loved the great spare ribs and fried shrimp, etc. Yeah, I'm making myself hungry for Chinese. I've tried to cook Chinese dishes myself, and I make a pretty decent orange sauce and or sweet and sour sauce, and chicken nuggets, which are not really Chinese, but if you make your own chicken nuggets, they're much better than the gristle you get at McDonald's. Anyway, that's about it. I just can't get any other Chinese recipe right, like a stir fry. I do okay with fried rice, but it really is not the same. Oh well, now I'm really hungry. And we're getting close to 3 hours, guys. So uh, let's see, get our act together and take it on the road. Let's get ready for food. So thank you all for listening, and Merry Christmas to all. Okay, now I get to fix my typos. Here we go. There. Oh, and I'm going to get my sandwich with bacon, turkey, and ham. And real French fries made with real potatoes. So thanks, guys, and Merry Christmas.